It's Monster Hunter Wilds, and the Monster Hunter world is crying foul with the death knell that every hardcore video gaming enthusiast shudders to hear. Easy game for babies. Now let's talk about how that is the most one-dimensional, paper-thin take I've ever heard. Hey guys, it's One Track Mind, and today I'm going to tell you why you absolutely should spend your hard-earned zenny on Capcom's newest foray into the perilous desert crags, lush forests, and uncharted pastures of Monster Hunter Wilds. This is a mostly spoiler-free preview that contains footage of 3 early game monsters, the tutorial area, and the opening cutscene for the second area. You have been warned. Now here's a game that is overwhelmingly loaded with charm. I admit that even I, one who champions inclusion every chance I get, am getting a little tired of looking at racially ambiguous 20-something-year-old girls in beanies and glasses as the main characters of everything. So I balked at first at the look and aura of these characters that were, lo and behold, staring me right in the face the moment the game launches. But that trepidation quickly gave way to a pleasant sense of familiarity and camaraderie with the kind and friendly souls of these characters. The look and the feel of them is very human. It doesn't feel forced, or for the woke fearing among you, aligned with any particular agenda. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, if that's you, sir or madam, firstly, relax and just go outside for a while instead of seething over things that do not affect you in the slightest bit. But beyond that, to what I'm sure will be your relief, these characters are not denizens of the Panderverse and will gradually delight you the more you get to know them. Now, I enjoyed Monster Hunter World just as much as the next sweaty gamer that doesn't just crave but needs a much deeper experience than, say, point and shoot, for instance. But one of the things that instantly turned me off about it, and honestly very much hindered my ability to love that game, was a strange problem with blown-out highlights everywhere. I've never seen anyone else talk about this, actually, so forgive me if it's a known problem, but that game was blinding. Even in the most dynamic of settings, there were utterly white highlights abound everywhere you looked, and although adjusting some of the settings made a small change for me, it never quite eliminated the problem entirely. As a camera operator and video editor by trade, this drove me absolutely nuts and kept me trapped in a cycle of half-baked subconscious thought. This doesn't look good. Wait, is it me? No, it doesn't look good. Loads up another game. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Goes back into Monster Hunter World. Yeah, this doesn't look good. I love that it doesn't have that overexposed look anymore. In fact, I think the lighting is spectacular and subtle in this game, allowing for beautiful dynamic range and very realistic shadows and highlights. This game looks great, and as anyone who's ever tried to light something outside during the day, 99% of this game takes place outdoors, you'll know that's no small task. I forgot about this until I booted up Wilds, and for a split second I was stricken with dread, thinking, oh god, is it back? But thankfully, I was relieved to see the game looks absolutely gorgeous in all lighting scenarios, and in fact, maybe one of the best games I've seen yet to convey outdoor lighting realistically in terms of a comparison to cinema. I can't tell you how much this delighted me, but I'm sure you have some idea based on how long I've just ranted about it. Monster Hunter Wilds feels amazing to play. I've always partially felt like I was forcing myself to enjoy the movement and combat in the past games, as I'm not a huge fan of feeling like I'm on my ass half the time, and the other half I'm barely in control of where I'm swinging my big-ass weapon because I'm locked into such elaborate animations. I don't know just how much adjustment has been made to the feel of movement and the input the controls have on how you maneuver your character and swing your weapon around, but in terms of feel, we're at the tippy top of where this series has ever hoped to be, in my opinion. I instantly felt like I was having a great time, and I was totally immersed, which is far more than I can say for any of the other games in the series that I've played. Cutscenes make the monsters feel formidable and downright scary. Damn! These things look fucking gnarly. To a layman like myself, I figure just chalk it up to the technology having caught up to the concept. The animations, the movement, the speed, the weight of these things. They all feel so cool and real. I couldn't believe how impressed I was by the first few cutscene reveals of the early game monsters, and that feeling makes you go, holy shit, no way. And then a beat passes and you're like, I need to go fight that right now. I mean, as far as an experience you're having playing Monster Hunter, that's about the size of it. That's about it. It's about what you want, probably, I would say. How dope is that? I picked it up expecting to ho-hum through an hour or so and go to bed, and I found myself staying up way late because I couldn't get enough. For a boomer, such as myself, that's very high praise, I assure you. The natives feel like Final Fantasy X natives, but in a good way. You remember Besaid? And other places in Spira? How the locals always felt friendly and fun and somehow believable and appropriate for who they were and where they were. These folks tapped right into that for me in Wilds. Not sure exactly what that means or why I like it, but I think it's a testament to good character design and art direction, and I sure am a sucker for that kind of thing. As soon as the world around the player doesn't feel like it fits or is believable, it instantly demotivates me to want to dwell there, spend time there, talk to NPCs, care about their problems. This is a very oft overlooked thing in gaming today. NPCs are phoned right the fuck in more often than not. And if you don't believe me, go play Avowed. Or better yet, go watch that viral video comparison of Oblivion, a nearly 20-year-old game, to Avowed. This is not the work of Scorsese here that's necessary to give you a glimpse at how little effort some developers are out there putting into their games. To see Capcom, a long-standing, reliable studio that's seen its ups and downs, mind you, shining in this way, succeeding brilliantly in a game that did not have a story up until its last iteration, do remember, is such a feeling of pure vindication and pride that it fills my little black heart up with smiles and unicorns. Gaming titans like Blizzard, bye. Squaresoft, see ya. Konami, no. You make pachinko games. But if you don't go buy the Suikoden remasters, I'm coming to your house and I'm stealing your Amazon packages. BioWare? Those legends? Dead. Gone. Rare? Broke our hearts. Destroyed us. See ya. Capcom? Capcom? Come here, you. Give me a big hug, Capcom. You sly dog, you. Look at you. You look great. Did you lose some weight? And what'd you do with your hair? Let me buy you a drink. To another 30? What is it, 25? How long has it been? Good for you. Keep it up. And we'll keep buying your game. And I certainly will keep buying your games. Everyone is very ethnically ambiguous, but also sounds exceedingly white in this game. Why is that? I mean, I haven't cleared the game yet, and this is a preview, but I mean, there are clearly Indian characters that chef up non-bread over open bonfires, wear bones on their heads that sound white as the dickens. White as the dickens. Okay? I don't know what else to say about that. It's weird. Also, they got non-bread in this game and it looks bomb. That's all I have to say there. Hope you like cat sounds or horrible voice acting, because those are the only choices you have for your palico, considering this is a thing that never ever goes away unless you actually force it to stay home, much like your real cat does unless it's a goddamn grown-up. It goes and shits outside. But these things are so strong now you'd be nuts to leave it behind unless you deliberately wanted to up the challenge. Actually, Fighting Cowboy recommends this for series veterans. But if you aren't that, you're going to hear a great deal of cat noises. They don't bother me, but some people really hate cats. And to those people I say, get over that. It's a small, furry, cuddly thing that literally sits in a corner and does not interact with you. What exactly is there to hate about that? I don't understand. Alma is so what she is, but I do still like her. It is odd that she's always with you, though. It's almost like she's your surrogate, perpetually appropriate avatar/bodyguard, meant to prevent you from doing anything uncouth or non-PC. I mean, let's be real. She is the literal woke character meme. I do not like the term woke because I think it demonizes the inclusion of traditionally marginalized groups of people thinly veiled under the guise of being, quote, smart enough to sniff out a corporate agenda. Yeah? Sure you are, bud. You get it. And nobody else sees it but you. All ethnicities and orientations have equal access to media where they did not before, so there was no possible platform to voice any discontent with their exclusion from popular media forever. Like, actually forever, before pretty much right now. But the current surge of representation across those demographics is your private conspiracy theory. Fine. But also, she does a lot of the chit-chatting in your place, and that's helpful and nice. She weirdly takes the pressure off you. In a social anxiety relief kind of way. You get to just hang out. She does the talking. She's wearing glasses and a beanie, so she's definitely going to ask the right questions and be polite. And you can just be the pirate you are, sitting there all grizzled, garbed in your dead beast parts, and just chill. Maybe eat a snack. Remember Shepard? That poor bastard had to talk to everyone. I mean, he did crush it with the ladies and all, but I digress. Also, are there optometrists in Monster Hunter? Where are those glasses from? Did she go to Pearl Vision? Animations, characters, environments, monsters look great. I've touched on this already, but damn. The team of animators who worked on this must have been sipping upon the cans of many C4 energy drinks while they worked on this game. Everything is well thought out. Specific situational animations feel real and natural, down to your hunter stepping through a doorway with some beads and kind of doing that side step you do when you do that. I don't know why you're anywhere that has beads hanging in the doorway, but I don't know you. I don't know where you go. Okay? I'm just saying the animation is rock solid from combat down to the minute and mundane. And this definitely includes the delightful cartoony felines who are almost anime in their behavior but still somehow feel very realistic. They, being walking, talking cats, feel real. That is pretty cool. All of this boils down to a very elusive but also extremely crucial aspect of world building in both gaming and film. Immersion. And Monster Hunter Wilds has that. I like how everyone around you comments on the size of your weapon because it is ridiculous. It's probably the silliest thing about the game, that somehow you can run at top speed with a mountainous hunk of lead strapped to your back, let alone the thought that you could ever wield something that large, heavy, and unwieldy, but you can and do. And while we don't really question that because video games, ironically, the characters in the video game do question that. And that is a very nice touch. It's pretty funny. I hate getting lost in games unless that is the point, like in Elden Ring, and there is no chance of that here. In fact, you are perhaps maybe a bit too guided, but I'm 40 years old, so I'll take it where I can get it. I don't have time to wander around looking for where to go next, let alone scrounging for secret treasures or areas, but if I do want to find those things, there are always walkthroughs and guides. But if I have to resort to a guide to figure out where to go next, to progress the main game, you're pissing me off. And I'm supposed to be relaxing and enjoying myself. So I'm thankful that Monster Hunter Wilds, and World for that matter, strike a balance of giving me a reliable guide system in a very massive world, while towing the line of, well, not stepping on my toes while doing it. And as usual, there is always the possibility of stumbling on a secret unmarked path all on my own, and that's good. We like that. The barks by NPCs, things that will, 9 times out of 10, irritate me to no end, are surprisingly spot on and really add to the atmosphere. They say the right things. The things they say are contextual. They feel good and aren't forced. And they also don't fucking repeat themselves ad nauseum because I heard you. My ears work. You do not need to say it again and again. Monster Hunter also loves to just get on with it. And I wish I could apply this sensibility to all things in life because that is something that I am thinking and sometimes saying out loud far too often during my day-to-day because I'm impatient. But you've got problems too, okay? Nobody's perfect. Really, the characters look beautiful. The RE engine is up there. All Capcom's games that have made use of this engine recently look absolutely unfucking believable. And I think this game may be the shining example of its capabilities. Skin tones and imperfections, facial expressions, the way light and texture combine to create the illusion of realistic humanoid people. These are people. It's scary, actually. My 8-year-old self, playing Super Mario Bros. 3 on Nintendo in my uncle's basement, could never remotely fathom games looking this good. And frankly, we take it for granted and don't celebrate it enough. This game has some good graphics. Just take a second to really soak it all in. This is solid work. You should buy this game just because it's a very well-made piece of art that deserves to be bought by people. I sometimes buy stuff I know damn well I won't play just because I want to support it. I understand not everybody can do that, and that makes a lot of sense, especially in today's economy. But if you can, what will it hurt having a collection of great art, even if it's not your cup of tea? And who knows? Maybe sometime you'll give it a go and it will become your thing. Either way, though, gaming is in a dire state of oversaturated trash. I mean, I have friends who like Valorant, okay? So do your part and put your money where your mouth is. You want good games? Then spend on good games and they'll keep happening. Or you know what could happen. I dare not say it aloud. If you are new to the series, my suggestion is ignore all that is daunting and just learn it as you go. It all gradually makes sense fairly seamlessly anyway. There is a very complex and deep world at play here, full of elements interactive and non, and the depth at which you can communicate with this game is really rare, especially as far as action games go. Monster Hunter is a one-of-a-fucking-kind series. I'm thrilled to see it finally getting its days in the sun, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. This is a world to lose yourself in and take a meaningful part in, alongside other like-minded players, not a bunch of boxes to check off like some Assassin's Creed shit or even Breath of the Wild. There's no handful of acorns out there to find, only fiercely tenacious, cunning, titanic creatures that are fucking smart. Smarter than anything you've seen in an open-world game before besides maybe Elden Ring. And even in that game, we all know damn well the open world is not the point. It's an expression of art and expertise in its own lane, designed to envelop the imaginations of those who dare venture forth into its twisting canyons and writhing catacombs. And that very same spirit of adventure lies here too. It's just wrapped in a totally different packaging. And yes, it's way fucking easier than that game for sure, but also spending 8 if we're talking about me, hours to learn one boss isn't for everybody. And sometimes people just want to bop big shit over the head and get on with their life, and then take the parts of said big shit and make some stylish wares. Now you tell me, what's the harm in that? Some things haven't changed about Monster Hunter, and some things have, and I'm in the camp that's firmly in support of the forward momentum. At its inception, Capcom crafted an elite system of weapons, items, and a near-flawless communication of combat for players to interface with a world of enemies large and small that felt good to go searching for and beat the shit out of because they felt unique and dangerous, and mostly because they inspire a sense of adventure. I'm of the belief that it's never really been about how you hunt, mostly because of how tight and well thought out its classic variety of weapons are. It's about what you hunt. And while some of the necessity attached to the complexity of what you can do has been diminished, more options are available to you now than ever. Just because you don't need to bring a trap doesn't mean you can't or shouldn't. We all know what Monster Hunter fans are really waiting on with each iteration: a new lineup of behemoths to bash with a good old trusty hammer. And that's what's waiting for you here in spades, alongside an injection of spirit, personality, and flair that most AAA titles wouldn't dare aspire to. Just the fact that this game exists makes me happy, and if you don't feel the same way, we disagree. And you can go back to playing Overwatch or whatever it is you do with your time. Oh, and by the way, If tenacious women and feminine boys scare you for some reason or trigger your conspiracy tinfoil hat to tingle, just, grow up or get over it or just don't play it. Pick one. Lock in and enjoy the ride, boys. Monster Hunter Wilds is beautiful and worth every penny. Thanks so much for watching this video. My name's One Track Mind. You can follow me on IG, Twitch, and Twitter at One Track Mind TV. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more content, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye. Lock in and enjoy the ride, boys. Monster Hunter Wilds is beautiful and worth every penny. Punny, he says. No, the death, the rue. We rue the day. Flame of balloon, the dark flame will not avail you.